Welcome to The Expanse, a sci-fi drama TV show first created and produced for Sci-Fi Channel, then later Amazon Prime, based on the book series with the same name. The Expanse by James S. A. Corey. James S. A. Corey is a pen name used by collaborators Daniel Abraham and T.Y. Frank, authors of the science fiction series that ran from 2015 to 2022. The series is set in the 23rd century, a future where humanity has colonized the solar system. The United Nations controls Earth, and in that case the lunar stations, and Mars is an independent military power. The inner planets are dependent on the resources of the asteroid belt. Belters live and work in space, and in the belt, air and water are more precious than gold. For decades, tensions have been rising. Earth, Mars, and the belt are now on the brink of war, and all it'll take is a single spark. This story follows a contrasting band of protagonists: the United Nations Security Council member Christian Avasarala, played by Shohreh Aghdashloo, police detective Josephus Miller, played by Thomas Jane, and the ship officer James Holden, played by Stephen Strait, and his crew, as they unwittingly unravel and place themselves at the center of a conspiracy that threatens the system's fragile state of Cold War, while dealing with existential crises brought forth by newly discovered alien technology. The Expanse has received critical acclaim, with particular praise for its visuals, character development, and political narrative. It received a Hugo Award for the Best Dramatic Presentation and 3 Saturn Award nominations for Best Science Fiction Television Series. This series has 6 seasons, and I'm going to attempt to summarize and talk about the whole show, giving you the story and analyzing the plot. I will also try to explain why it is the best sci-fi show of the later 2010s and the early 2020s so far. Episode 1. The first episode, the pilot of the show, sets up the involved parties, motivations, and starting points in this great space odyssey. We are first introduced to the catalyst factor of the plot: an attack on a freighter ship called the Scopuli. Our first incendiary spark and police officer Josephus Miller, a jaded and a corrupt cop working the system who is tasked with searching for a missing rich daughter, Juliet Andromeda Mao, the catalyst of the plot, who happens to be connected to the first attack in this silent but deadly game of war. We're also made privy of Miller's changing attitude to the current affairs of the world he lives in, which explains his eventual obsession in finding Juliet and setting the plot in gear. We're then introduced to the hero of the story, James Holden, and his crew. He's the current second officer in the ice trawling ship called the Canterbury, the spark that starts the fire. At this point, James and the rest of the crew are working on the ice trawler, and the ship and the crew are currently set to head back to Ceres Station to deliver the ice that will be used to produce water and air in the space station, when they receive a distressed mayday signal from the stranded freighter Scopuli. The captain of the Canterbury orders the ship to ignore and purge the logs of the signal because he felt it was pirate bait, a trap in space. But Holden, having sent something, logs the distress signals with HQ, which forces the crew in the Cant to turn back and check out the stranded ship. McDowell, the captain of the Cant, orders Holden to assemble a small shuttle crew and lead this scavenger's mission to the Scopuli. Holden chooses Naomi Nagata, Amos Barton, Alex Kamal, and Shed Garvey for the shuttle run. They make the short trip to the Scopuli, and during their investigation they find out that the ship crew is missing and the distressed signal transmitter was planted on the ship as bait. McDowell was right. They then receive an alert from the Cant that a ship has suddenly just appeared in the vicinity and they must abort mission and head back to the Cant. But the crew in the night shuttle, realizing that they can't outrun this unknown ship without leading them to the Cant, tries to explain this to the big ship when the unknown ship fires torpedo missiles at them. The night shuttle attempts to evade the onslaught, but they realize, albeit a little too late, that the target of the attack was a Cant and not the shuttle, and the 5 have to watch their friends get nuked in the empty vacuum of space. We are also introduced to Christian Avasarala, the UN Deputy Under-Secretary, our first portrait of this cunning, manipulative, vicious, and intelligent gear in the cogs of the plot. She is currently in the pursuit of possible terrorism actions from a Belter-run organization called the OPA and the connection to the Martian military tech. The first episode is more worried about setting our players in the right position to get the story moving. James Holden is a hero of the story, and we watch him try to evade and avoid leadership and responsibility responsibilities. His entire time in the Canterbury, he has turned down promotions and the position of the XO, first officer of the ship, after the XO went mad. Even after the attack, McDowell was still trying to convince him to take the XO job, but all Holden wanted was his working papers. But at the end of the episode, the devastation and loss he feels after watching the Cant explode makes him accept his destiny and also forces him to take control of the small team remaining in order for them to come out of it alive. Miller, on the other hand, during the search for Julie Mao, this triggers his change cycle and he becomes obsessed with finding this missing heiress. Avasarala is our puzzle solver. She's set up in a position of power, and her need to know and control things puts her in a unique position to play chess master in this game of war.